Porcupines. You either love them, or you hate them, or you love them. You see them often in Alaska, most of the time just moseying around in the streets. You also see the insides of a porcupine often. That's what happens when you're often moseying around in the streets. Approaching porcupines can be both scary and exhilarating, but there are a few rules you should keep in mind when standing next to one of these large creatures. Porcupines are meat eaters. They particularly like the taste of human flesh. They have been known to chew off people's toes as they walk by. Sneakers and shoes do not prevent this. Dirty socks may. A porcupine can see a human approaching from 3 miles away. As you're walking towards the porcupine, it is gathering intelligence on everything about you. That's why you see their noses wiggle around all the time. By the time you reach the porcupine, it has already determined your date of birth, age, occupation, and if your flesh will taste better with butter or margarine. Standing too close to a porcupine can be dangerous. They're capable of shooting their needles up to 375 feet with great accuracy, often aiming for your nostrils and your nipples. Scientists have not found out why these are the regions of the human body that the porcupine shoots for, but they assume it has something to do with they are suspicious why your nose is not wiggling. Why they also aim for your nipples is unknown, and may in fact not even be true, but instead I just wanted to say the word nipples in this video. On occasion, a porcupine will roll up in a ball as you get closer to it. Many people suspect this is due to the porcupine being frightened, but that would be wrong. Because porcupines move so slowly, when they roll up in a ball, they are asking you to roll it down the street so that they can get to their next destination a little bit faster. The North American porcupine is one of the largest rodents in Alaska, second only to the beaver. This stout, short-legged mammal is 25 to 31 inches long and covered with hair and quills of varying length. The porcupine has an extremely muscular tail that it uses for climbing and defense. The upper surface of the tail is thickly covered with quills, while the underside is covered in bristle-like hairs, which aid in climbing. Quills are modified hairs that have microscopic barbs on the tips and are filled with a spongy matrix. The porcupine has an excellent sense of smell, hearing, and taste, but its eyesight is relatively poor. They make a wide variety of sounds, ranging from whimpers to screams, depending upon the circumstance. The inner bark of spruce, birch, and hemlock and spruce needles are the major winter foods for porcupines in Alaska. In spring and summer, they eat buds and young green leaves of birch, aspen, cottonwood, and willow. Because their foods are very low in sodium, porcupines seek out salt sources such as natural licks, glue which bonds plywood together, human perspiration on tools, road salt, and some paints. Porcupines also feed on shed antlers and the bones of dead animals to obtain sodium and calcium. The common porcupine lives in coniferous, deciduous, and mixed forest. It also thrives in scrubby tundra areas and rocky slopes.